Raymond. Deborah's teaching me so much about cooking.
You're learning cooking from Deborah. Okay, so heaven is here, hell is here. It's raining monkeys, and wood is now a drink.
And look at this book Deborah gave me. 101 Healthy Things to Do in the Kitchen.
In this kitchen, the healthiest thing to do is wee.
Welcome everybody to a very special podcast. That's the name of the show, right?
Yes, it is.
Everybody, so welcome to a very special podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about your favorite shows from yesteryear and then discuss them over like a bottle of wine. And forewarned, I pretty much drank the whole bottle of wine before this episode started.
I couldn't find anything I wanted to drink tonight, so I'm just drinking plain hot chocolate.
Oh, I would have gone to the store for you because like I'm just like, should I go back out and get more wine like 20 minutes ago? And I'm like, that's probably not a good idea.
I was going to the liquor cabinet. I was like, I could do a hot apple cider with twaka, but not in the mood for that. And I was just like, everything else I have is kind of like fruity and summery. Oh, I could have added candy bar vodka. Ooh.
Well, we can take a brief pause if you need to go add that to your hot cocoa.
Actually, I have a better way.
Oh, you're gonna text your boyfriend and he'll.
Yeah, I think I got the hot chocolate.
I need like a servant here. Like I don't have a servant.
Or candy bar or cake vodka.
I say cake because I think you already get candy bar out of the hot cocoa. So I don't know. You might want to like mix. What is it like a vanilla cake?
It's birthday cake vodka from UV Vodka.
Yeah, you know what? I've had that before. It's pretty good actually. Like we're in that new age where we can only drink vodka if it's infused with some crazy flavor.
Yeah, there's always has to be a flavor for me. I just think about college and like all the times I drank straight vodka from the bottle and then like maybe like had something to chase it down with.
I just like shrill when I think about it because like, what was it, Sky vodka like in the blue bottle?
It's Sky. We always drank Skull.
They always said for some reason that if you drank Sky vodka that you don't get a hangover. That is not true, by the way. So if you're a teenager or a college kid and you find this podcast and people tell you that you can drink Sky vodka and not get a hangover, it's a lie.
Listen, if you're gonna drink a lot that you think you might have a hangover from drinking, you're gonna have a hangover.
I always say like if you're gonna be drinking for a long period of time, just go for beer. Just like stick with beer. And if you don't like beer, then you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah. Or just like don't down the shots. Just like have a nice mixed drink, cocktail, enjoy it.
Fake sip. So now we've morphed from a podcast about television series into how to educate college students how to drink. But which we'd probably get more listeners actually if we did that. All right, so we have to get the housekeeping out of the way, otherwise I go crazy. So my name is Patrick M. Dunn. You can find me on Twitter at Patrick M. Dunn. Very simple. I'm joined here by Kat Halstead. You can find her. She's at KatDVS. And she's at kathalstead.com. If you don't know how to spell her name, I will put it in the show notes. She writes books. So she's all over Amazon. And we're through the Halloween season, so I'm not going to pimp the spirit board any longer. Although, did you see the Ouija board movie is like tearing up the box office?
Yeah, there was... I may have had a few tweets that said, forget the Ouija movie, read the spirit board instead. It's only 99 cents.
I haven't read it yet. I've been meaning to read it. And you can buy this bad boy for 99 cents.
And it's in print now, too.
It's in print?
Yeah, I just put it in print.
So you can buy the book on Amazon and they will ship the actual print to your house?
Yep.
Did you hear that, Internet? You can buy the spirit board for, is it the same price, 99 cents? Shipping?
No, it is $5.50, I believe.
It's worth every penny, I'll tell you that. All right, so this week we watched the season 3 Thanksgiving Day episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. I believe the episode's called No Fat.
Yes, it is.
All right, so bad news is I left my notes at work today.
Patrick, you're going to make me add more vodka to this, aren't you?
So I am totally doing this off the cuff. All right, so Everybody Loves Raymond was a classic CBS sitcom. It starred Ray Romano, Brad Garrett, Patricia Heaton in the Oprah voice, Paul Boyle, and who played the old mom? I can't remember.
Doris Roberts.
Doris Roberts, and then like 3 children you never see.
Like, since or like on the show?
On the show and since.
Well, like, on the show, they, like, kind of just, like, walk through a scene, like, maybe, like, later when they got bigger, they had small storylines, but it was usually Deborah and Ray's parents talking about the kids.
I was watching the show, because I haven't seen the show, I'll admit, I haven't seen the show in a long time, so I'm watching this episode, and I'm like, I can't remember, do Deborah and Ray have kids? And then, like, in one of the, like, Thanksgiving scenes where they're in, like, later on in the show, they show the 3 kids, like, around, like, a smaller table. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they do have kids. Then I'm like, wait, is that their kids? Or is it Robert's kids? I can never remember. Then I'm like, no, wait, Ray and Deborah have kids.
Yeah, Robert never has kids as far as I'm aware. I don't think Robert had kids, like, at all. I don't think his wife was even, like, pregnant by the time the series ended.
So then I had to Google it, and I was like, oh, okay, they do have kids. And then it mentioned that they're, like, a smaller part of the show. They rarely include them. It's not like Full House where they get, like, their own storylines.
They're sort of little, like, prop. I hate to say it. Sorry, Sweeten kids. You were basically props.
All right, so the show ran from 1996 to 2005? Did I get the dates right? Okay.
I think that's right.
Now, the one thing that surprises me about Everybody Loves Raymond, it's one of those shows that I didn't know existed until I was in my early 20s, to like 2001 when it hit like that syndication circuit.
Yeah, that was the same thing with me. I like was never like into it until it was like in syndication and I would catch it. And like even then I still didn't like watch it on Monday nights. I'd still just like maybe if I wasn't like working, actually even if I was at work because I watch TV at work, but I usually didn't work Mondays, so. Yeah,
you probably watch something else because you're like, why am I at work watching Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah.
But,
I did watch the series finale at work.
Oh, really?
Because, well, the job I had, I was a building manager at my college for the student union building. And by then, the school year's over, but we still have events during the summer, and I was living in town at the time. So I would, like, go, and you're, like, there because there's summer classes and there's people in the building. And my job is basically, like, to lock up, clean up, and, you know, make sure nobody's in the building that's not supposed to be there.
There's no, like, crackheads or homeless men just lingering about?
Most of the time, no. So, yeah, I just, like, if it's, like, that, especially that point in the summer, because it's, like, still school's in session for a good chunk of the country, so it's not like summer camps are happening. So I was like, okay, I'll just sit in the lounge. I'll watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
You're probably like the only person under the age of 21 who was watching Everybody Loves Raymond that day.
I think it had a huge viewership. I don't know.
Well, it was a big show, but like it always seemed like to me like an older person show. Like,
yeah,
I would watch it and I'm like, this isn't funny. I don't get this. This doesn't make any sense to me because like Ray Romano was like, well, he was a stand-up comedian Everybody Loves Raymond. He's kind of like your like funny uncle, I guess is what I could say.
Yeah, I get that.
Like that's his kind of humor. Like I used to always think like him and Jerry Seinfeld were on the same page, but
he's like a whiny Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld's a little more risque, even though he's not really that more risque, but like Ray Romano jokes are just like stupid things like, well, in the first scene of this episode, Patricia Heaton is like wrapped up in a blanket on the couch and her phone rings and...
Yeah, it's her parents telling her that, sorry, we're not going to be here for Thanksgiving, so you guys figure out whatever you're going to do, which probably means you're going to have to go hang out with Marie.
Which they always do, basically.
I would kill myself if I like lived across the street from my in-laws.
So Ray's like, Deborah, where's your parents going? She's like, I'm not telling you because you're just going to laugh. And then in my mind, I'm like, she's going to say turkey. And then she's like, they're going to Turkey. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's the joke? That's the joke they open with? That's like their cold open joke?
Well, it's Thanksgiving. Well, the thing is, like, Deb's parents are like the sophisticated, rich grandparents, and then Marie and Frank are like your middle class, a little more normal-ish grandparents. Like, I don't know about you. I definitely had the grandparents who were like a little more down to earth and the ones that were a little bit wealthier.
No, that wasn't me.
No?
I think I had Marie's across the board.
I think I'm going to guess that my mother's parents were more Frank and Marie, and my dad's parents were more Deb's parents.
Okay. Did they ever show Deb's parents? I don't think I've seen an episode with them.
They come throughout the series. They are in a few Thanksgiving episodes, actually.
Thanksgiving episodes is a theme for the series, then, I guess.
Yes. There's one in the first season where instead of making a turkey, Deb decides that she's going to make her first Thanksgiving dinner and she's going to make a fish. Like, okay, if you're not going to make turkey because you're just kind of like over turkey, you don't go with a fish. You go with a ham.
That is a huge Patricia Heaton move, because she seems like the kind of person, like in real life, that would do that too.
So yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I've always had turkey at Thanksgiving, except for the one year I had a burger from Denny's, but...
Were we on the road?
I didn't get to go home for Thanksgiving because I was working, and my friend who was like, oh, we'll go out for Thanksgiving dinner, like, doesn't want to go out until like 7 o'clock at night, and everything in town is closed except for Denny's.
Oh, because they're 24 hours.
Yeah.
See, I've always had turkey on Thanksgiving, except for the year that I went to Las Vegas. But I think I actually went the day after Thanksgiving. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. That weekend, I lost like 7 million brain cells that weekend. So I don't know if I actually was there for Thanksgiving or was the day after, but...
I can understand that.
So I didn't really watch Everybody Loves Raymond that much. I started watching the show more recently.
Yeah, like, I would catch an episode here or there, but, like, I never was like, oh, I have to go and sit and watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
The only reason that I really couldn't get into it is because I will admit, I am scared shitless of Brad Garrett. He just reminds me of, he's the guy that, like, you know, your car breaks down one day, you're, like, on a road trip in West Virginia, and you call AAA, and they, like, tow you to this, like, random car shop that's still open on, like, a Sunday. And he's, like, sweaty and wearing one of those, like, car repairman suits covered in grease. And he's like, yeah, we'll fix your car for you. And then you get, like, murdered 5 minutes later after the AAA guy leaves. That's just, like, he has that look to him for some reason. I don't know why.
Which is funny because he plays a cop on this show.
Yeah, that was one thing that I forgot. He's a New York City cop?
Yeah.
All right, so the show takes place do they live in Long Island? I was trying to figure out where they lived.
Yeah, they live in Long Island.
Like, they probably live, like, 15 minutes away from the city, I'm gathering?
Yeah. Quick train ride.
They probably take the lair into the city if they had to go to see a show or something?
Yeah. Go shopping.
Like, do they ever go into the city on the show?
Occasionally. Most of the action takes place in the house, either in Ray and Deb's house or Marie and Frank's house.
See, I always get confused because they, like, cut between the houses too quick. So I'm like, do they live together? Or
no.
Do they live next door? Like, what's the deal here?
No, they live... Okay, Frank and Marie live right across the street from Ray and Deb.
Okay.
Like, right across the street. In, like, the same little suburban neighborhood development from the 60s, 50s, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the sets, so it always, like, confuses me. I'm like, do these people live in the same house? Like, I can never remember.
You can tell, like, if you, like, pay attention, you can tell the difference by the style of decor. Frank's house still has the plastic on the couch.
I noticed that. That was in my notes.
It's still a little retro. Like something you'd find mid-century house. Like the weird metal work and stuff.
Those, like, live, laugh, love. Those, like, signs that you have, like, hanging in your house.
Yeah, like there's... And just, like, the colors, too. Well, Ray and Deb's house is a little more early 90s country sort of feel going on. It's
the kind of house that you, like, walk around with flannel pajamas on.
Mm-mm.
Which I think Ray spends, like, half the episode in flannel pajamas for some reason. I don't know. That was in my notes, but I don't have them with me. All right, so basically, Deb's parents are going to be in Turkey for Thanksgiving. LOLs across the board right there. And So now they have to have Thanksgiving with Marie and Peter Boyle's character, whose name I cannot remember. Frank. So Ray's like, all right, Patricia Heaton, I gotta go next door and like give them a heads up that I'm gonna be here. Do you need anything? And she's like, yes, I need some trash bags. So he's like, all right, I'll go over there and get a trash bag. So he bops by his parents' house, which is across the street, and they're all upset. They're like, his parents are completely torn because they just went to like a health fair or something.
Yeah, they went to like one of those senior health fairs where they get their blood pressure and their cholesterol and all that stuff checked.
They're beside themselves because one of them has high cholesterol, the other one has high blood pressure. The urine samples haven't even come back yet, so who knows what's going to be wrong with that.
High blood pressure sucks.
I imagine. But I will tell you one thing. I did go to one of those where I used to work. We had a health fair, and I didn't want to go to it, but they said if you come to this health fair, you can enter a drawing to win a free iPad. I was like, I could use a free iPad. I was like, yeah, I'll go to it. I'm like, I probably have a pretty good chance of winning because there's only like 100 people in the building.
Yeah.
So I went and they like poked and prodded me with these like needles all day. And end of the story, I didn't win the iPad. But they were like, oh, you have high cholesterol. So I was like, oh, you fucking kidding me? I was like, I never eat anything that's like really that bad for me. I was like, how the hell do I have high cholesterol? And they're like, I don't know. They're like, do you eat a lot of red meat? And I'm like, not really. Like chicken, fish. They're like, yeah. Well, sometimes it's like just like runs in the family. You should go get yourself checked out. So then I went to like a real doctor and they were like, you're fine. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You just gave me like a panic attack for like a week and a half. Like I thought I was like gonna, like I was like changing my diet. I was getting like fish oil pills. I was throwing away all my food just like Marie was.
Oh my god, throwing the food away was hilarious.
So they have this whole fight, Marie and Frank, like how they have to just get rid of all this food. So Ray basically wants a trash bag is all he wants. So they hand him the trash bag and he's like about to walk out the door and then they just start throwing the food in the trash bag he's going to take.
Well, Frank starts it because he throws out the no egg scrambled eggs or whatever.
Oh, the egg whites or whatever?
Yeah, and the skim milk, because he's like, not real eggs! They're not real eggs! They're fake eggs! And then the skim milk doesn't mix with the coffee properly.
Oh, because he's like, what the hell is that blue carton that you're handing me? Yeah. And then Marie's like, don't look at it, Frank! Don't look at it! And he looks at it, and he's like, it's fucking skim milk, you bitch! He's like, I do not drink skim milk. Which, he's looking at the coffee, and he's like, look, it doesn't even mix. Like, the skim milk with the coffee doesn't even mix.
To be fair, skim milk really does not mix well with coffee.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I guess you're right.
But it's barely milk.
Well, it's just watered down milk, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like, they remove the fat or something.
I don't really drink milk, so I can't really... Well, if you're a milk drinker out there and you're also a coffee drinker, send us a tweet at Patrick M. Dunn or at CatDVS. And let us know why skim milk doesn't mix well with coffee. And we will send you a prize.
Yes.
We probably won't, but we'll just say we will.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, maybe we'll get like a shout out. We'll give you a shout out on this podcast. And you'll be featured on our website too. How about that? That way you'll be forever memorialized.
As our milk drinking fan.
Yes. We can call you Milk Fan. And then, like, anytime we have, like, dairy-related questions, we can, like, reach out to you.
How many dairy-related questions do you think we're gonna have?
I don't know, like, we could be watching, like, a Malcolm in the Middle one day where they're, like, milking a cow or something, and they just, like, drink the cow milk, like, straight up, and we're like, hey, Milk Fan, like, is that safe? And then he could reply and be like, yes, it's, it's nothing to worry about. We're like, okay, well, good thing we had a Milk Fan.
Yeah.
And if you're a woman, we can call you the Milkmaid.
Maybe I should just text my friend the Dairy Fairy.
Do you have a friend, the Dairy Fairy?
Yes.
Yeah, we should keep them in the podcast loop.
Yeah, okay, so, like, he works in the milk section, dairy section of a grocery store. And I used to talk to him, like, while he was, like, stocking the milk.
Send him a text right now and ask him why skim milk and coffee doesn't go together well. Just... You can add that you're doing a podcast if you want, but dealer's choice. And hopefully by the end of the episode, we'll get a response. If not, we'll keep you like on a... This could be our first clip.
If he doesn't respond, his roommate will, who is my ex-roommate, and it's just going to get hilarious.
This could be our first cliffhanger, by the way. Like, we might not get a response by episode's end. All right, so basically, Marie and Frank, at this point, they just started like shoving shit into a bag.
Yeah, she starts throwing all the junk food, and he like hijacks the bag and like a fork, and he's like, "I'm going on a picnic."
And then he grabs the bag and runs off because he had all like the good stuff. Which I don't know, I was like a little suspicious because like I don't think eggs are that bad for you, to be honest with you.
They're not. But you know what? When we were like kids, there was this whole like campaign about how eggs were bad for you. And not just because this is your brain on drugs. I think there's like a whole eggs are bad, they're high in cholesterol campaign.
See, I remember being in like 3rd or 4th grade and like the health teacher was like, don't eat eggs. You will die young if you eat eggs. And look at the fuck, I like eggs too. And then like now they're like, oh, we were wrong. Eggs are okay. And it's like, you can't do this to me. You can't.
Eggs are full of delicious protein.
And good cholesterol, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I think they realize there's good and bad cholesterol.
Yeah, but I think like if you have high cholesterol, it's probably not a good idea to eat like like the yolks.
Yeah, it's the yolks that get you into trouble.
But like the smallest part of the egg, So our dairy fairy, if you know about eggs, give us the skinny if you can.
Let's see if he responds about the skim milk.
Because I mean, if you're in the if you're in the milk aisle, you're probably gonna do the eggs too, I imagine, right? Yeah, so he probably is knowledgeable in both.
I used to like freak people out because he'd be in the back stocking stuff, and I'd be like, open the door, and I'd be talking to them, and be like, I'd have people going, "Why are you talking to the milk? Why are you talking to the yogurt?" Oh,
because he would move the milk out of the way, and you would like see him, and then you could like talk to him for a few minutes. Yeah. And he's like moving the Chobani around.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? Oh yeah, you want to go to the Lost Dog on Friday? Okay, yeah, let's go hang out and scope out guys." And
he probably had to make it look like he was working, so he was just like moving things around. So he had to go to like different fridges. All right, so where are we in the plot line of Everybody Loves Raymond?
Frank ran off with the food for his picnic of shame, as I called it in my notes.
So Frank is on his picnic of shame.
Okay, this is where things get weird. Marie decides to go to Deborah for cooking advice. Throughout this entire TV show, Marie puts down Deborah's cooking. She, like, never has anything nice to say about Deb's cooking, like, at all. She doesn't have anything nice to say about how Deb cleans the house, how she raises the kids. So Ray comes home from work, and there's Deb and Marie going over cookbooks, and Deb is giving Marie advice.
I did notice that because I'm not too big on the show, but I always kind of remember, doesn't Ray hate Deb's cooking?
I don't think he hates it, but it's not as good as his mother's.
Yeah, because he makes reference that the reason why he loves Thanksgiving is because of his parents' cooking, or his mom's cooking, basically. And she decides that she's going to start cooking healthier, and like the first day she's going to do it is like Thanksgiving, which is like the next day. It's like she can't wait 2 days for this to start.
Yeah, like, well, I don't think it's like the next day, but it's like that week.
Well, it's close.
Yeah, it's close enough that it's, because they got to go find the turkey. They got to find the mold first before they can do what they're going to do.
Another thing, is like turkey even that bad for you? Like, I thought turkey generally was all right to eat.
Yeah, like it's a white meat for the most part. I mean, just don't eat the skin. That's where the fat is. It's in the skin.
Yeah, and then she decides she's going to make a tofu turkey, which is like, to be honest with you, like, I don't think it's safe to just start eating like that much tofu at one point in time. Like, you probably should just like break into it.
Yeah, I think with tofu, you kind of got to like ease your way into it, train yourself to eat it, not just be like, okay, tofu.
And it's expensive too. It's not cheap.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't eat it. That and it kind of freaks me out. But
so to get like 30 pounds of it and like mush it into like a turkey shape, that must have been like $300 right there.
Yeah, they have to go get a mold that sort of looks like a turkey. And, like, what did she do? Boil it and then put it in the mold and let it, like, sit in the fridge to gel or something?
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out. And so it's like, you probably should have just got, like, a small bin of tofu and just, like, added it to stuff just to, like...
side or something.
Because you're going to eat it and you're still going to be hungry, like, 3 hours later. And then you're just going to start eating all this other junk.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't just jump into tofu. Like you know, maybe get, like, go to, like, an Asian restaurant. Get, like, a soup with tofu. And then maybe add it to, like, your salad. I don't know. I don't eat it, to be honest with you, either.
I bought it, like, once when I was, like, young and I wanted to, like, eat healthier. And then I remember my mom and I staring at this like we don't know what to do with it. I don't think anybody ate it. I think it just sat in our fridge for like months before it got tossed out.
I believe it's high in estrogen. Is that correct?
I don't know. Let's ask Google.
This is my favorite part of the show where we ask Google questions.
Okay, Google, is tofu high in estrogen? Okay, I hate when it doesn't read it, but soy is safe for everyone to consume in moderation and can have modest effect on estrogen levels.
All right, so it's not high in estrogen?
It has, like, maybe I find it better.
Well, because I'm always afraid to eat tofu because I'm afraid I'm going to, like, eat it. And then, like, the next morning I'm going to wake up and it's going to be, like, Freaky Friday and I'll have, like, boobs and a vagina.
That's not how it works. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna you're gonna be like Rob Schneider and the Hot Chick, wake up and all of a sudden you're like a girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm always afraid of, like when I eat tofu. Because someone told me one time, they're like, you shouldn't eat tofu because it's high in estrogen and it'll basically morph you into a female. And I'm like, oh shit, really? Because I think I just had some the other day. And then I'm like, oh fuck. Like,
it's not estrogen, but it doesn't add estrogen, but it can affect estrogen metabolism.
So, bottom line is, can I turn into a female if I eat tofu? That's what I really need to know.
If you eat olive Marie's tofu turkey mold, yes. But if you eat just a little bit, no. You're going to be fine. You're not going to turn into a woman or anything like that.
I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be like Lindsay Lohan.
No.
Which is probably everybody's nightmare.
Yeah, because that's one hot mess.
All right, so Marie makes a jiggly tofu turkey mold, and she brings it out to their Thanksgiving dinner. So they're having Thanksgiving at Marie and Frank's house, right?
Yeah, they're over across the street.
Okay, because that's the scene where they're sitting on the couches with the plastic covers.
Yeah, Marie loves her slip covers.
Which reminds me of one time in 7th grade, I went to go see a psychic.
You went to a psychic?
Well, actually, my mother went to a psychic, and I accompanied her to see the psychic.
Oh my god, I feel like I've heard this.
And, alright, so we pulled up to the psychic's house, because it's not at like a storefront, it's like actually at somebody's house. And the yard is a mess, there's like toys everywhere, the lawn's not mowed, and the psychic answers the door. She like looks like she just came out of the shower, she's like in a bathrobe, her hair's a mess, and she's like, oh my god, if I had known you guys were coming over, I would have cleaned up. And I'm thinking, like, if she was a psychic, wouldn't she know we were coming over? So I'm like, alright, whatever. So then, like, my mother goes into, like, her secret psychic room with her, and I'm forced to sit on the couch in their living room with her husband, and I just remember it being that, like, plastic-covered couch, and it was right when Dumb and Dumber first came out on VHS, and we're just, like, both, like, laughing at the same parts, but as soon as like we started laughing, we just like realized that we made a noise and then we just like immediately shut up, and like it was just, we didn't speak to each other, we just like bonded through laughter, and then we realized how awkward it was that we were laughing and hadn't spoken, so then we were like completely silent. And then I just got this like complete feeling he was gonna murder me, because I'm just like, this is like the perfect place to get murdered. You're like in a psychic's house watching like Dumb and Dumber on like plastic material. Like he like Dextered the apartment out, so like the blood spatter won't sink into the couch. And this is what I'm thinking. I'm like in 7th grade or 8th grade, I don't even remember how old I was. Well, my mother is like being told lies by a psychic who didn't even know we were coming over. She should have like tidied up the joint. And that's what I got out of that scene with Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, I don't remember like any of my family members having the plastic, but I remember like a couple of my friends had like the furniture that had the plastic slipcover, and it's like, why bother? Like, really? You're that afraid of like getting spills on your couch that you have to wrap it in plastic?
Yeah, like what happens if like one of your drunk friends spends the weekend and he sleeps on the couch and he's gonna sleep on like a toy basically? It's like a Barbie couch.
Yeah.
And it's not comfortable either, I'll tell you that. You like slide out of it.
Yeah, especially in the summer, like where it's humid, you like stick to the, like I have a leather couch in my living room, one of the 2 couches in there, and like on the leather you stick to it in the middle of summer. Like I can't even imagine plastic.
Yeah, I'm strictly fabric.
Yes, I have a nice chocolate fabric sectional that I enjoy daily.
I don't even like leather seats in a car. That just drives me berserk. Bonkers, if you will.
But yes, they have this, and everybody's being kind of pissy about it. The guys are all being pissy. Robert's moaning and groaning, Ray's whining, and Frank is like throwing a temper tantrum on the couch, refusing to come to the table, and Deborah gives him like that look, like, don't mess with me, get your ass in your seat.
Get your ass over here and eat this tofu turkey that is jiggling. Well, actually, isn't Robert like, I want a leg? And you just look at it and you're like, I don't think there is a leg on this.
Well, they ask, like, Robert, what part do you want? It's like, what are you supposed to say to that? It's all the same thing. And they pull it off. It's this tube that was like stuck on with the skewer.
Yeah, the skewer's on it, and then like those little like paper things they put over the turkey to make it look fancy. Does that have an official name?
Paper frills, because you use them on a crown roast.
It fancied it up. It actually made it look like a turkey, and they glazed it too. They added like a glazed layer to it to kind of like make it look shiny like a turkey. Mm-hmm. You just took the turkey out of the oven.
It was supposed to be beet juice and Worcestershire
sauce. Do you remember what their sides were? Because I wrote them in my notes, and I don't have.
It's a bunch of like veggies, like steamed veggies with lemon juice.
Like, it wouldn't be bad to do, like, mashed potatoes. You can still do mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And, like, corn. Why can't you have corn? I mean, I know they're both starches, but...
You can steam corn.
Yeah, like, you could... Or you can even do, like, a cucumber.
Yeah, well, there was a salad, and there was, like, a vegetable medley, and then there was broccoli, which is what Robert was like, I never thought I'd say this, but please pass the broccoli. I'm like, broccoli's not that bad. I love broccoli. I'll eat it, like, every day.
Those fucking New Yorkers... Like, this episode just made me so angry when they were just, like, upset over their, like, Thanksgiving meals. Like, you know, you could have just, like, you still could have had the normal stuff you have at Thanksgiving. Just don't load with butter. Like, maybe not have some rolls. Like, you could substitute rolls.
They had rolls, though. They did have rolls.
Oh, they still fucking had rolls. But they wouldn't eat turkey.
This is pre-low carb, no carb days.
Oh, so what year did this, 97 or 8, I imagine this came out?
Yeah, something like that.
Hold on. What year did I say the show started? 96?
Yeah, so it'd be 98.
This was the 3rd season episode?
Yeah.
So did the show premiere in the fall? Yeah, premiered in the fall of 96. So, 97. Yeah, so 98 sounds about right.
Yeah, we saw it a few years before everybody's like, don't eat carbs, eat bacon!
So how does this episode end?
This episode ends, okay, so in the middle of the dinner, the boys are being like dickweeds is the best way to put it. Like, they're making faces, they're like freaking out about the tofu. They're like, seriously, there's just a point where you just suck it up and you try to eat it. I've had to do that when my stepmom makes weird vegan Thai food, which is like nothing that I eat, but she insists I eat dinner with them, even though I'm like, really, I can go get myself dinner, I can make myself something else, I do not have to sit here and eat with you and your friends. No, you do. Okay, I will just take a little bit, I will eat what I can, even though you guys keep forgetting that I do not have the spice palette that the rest of you do, and I'm dying after one bite, but you do it to make your family happy. These guys could not do it. They were all little brats about it. Like, you didn't hear the kids complaining. You didn't see the kids throwing their food at each other. The kids shut up and eat it.
They probably were, but they just don't pay attention to the children.
But in the middle of the dinner, the doorbell rings, and it's a food delivery guy, who I feel sorry for having to deliver this on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was late. This is like late into Thanksgiving. It's not like it was like pre-Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's probably like 2 or 3 is probably a good guess. Sounds about right for the average Thanksgiving meal. And it's a guy, he's got a box of a Thanksgiving turkey dinner for the Barones. And Marie is pissed because she thinks Frank ordered it. And Frank's like, I didn't order it. And she's like, Robert. And she's like, not me, Ma. And she doesn't even think it could be Raymond. Because Ray is like her perfect little angel who can do no wrong. But guess who did wrong here? Raymond.
Normally, everybody loves Raymond.
Yes.
But now everybody definitely loves Raymond because he bought a real Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Like, is that why they call the show Everybody Loves Raymond?
I think he actually had good intentions because he was here, he was going to sit through the meal, support his mother, but, you know, he kind of wanted to still give his kids a real Thanksgiving, blah, 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 you know.
And he did. And he came through, and he lived up to the title of the series.
Yeah.
Is that like, I'm trying to think back to other episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond. Does he save the day like this at the end of every episode?
Kind of?
Is there a Christmas episode where he saves the day?
Actually, no. There's like a Christmas episode where he and Deborah come up with this like ridiculous idea to give everybody a toaster that's engraved that says Merry Christmas, Love, Ray, Deborah, Allie, Michael, and Jeffrey or whatever. And he gives it to his parents and they return it without even opening it. Or there's the one where his mother's like, all I want for Christmas is a nice family portrait. You, me, your father, your brother, the kids. I guess Deborah could be there. And then she gets upset because Deborah decides to invite her parents.
Oh, the classic move.
Yes. So I feel like he doesn't really save the day. He just kind of survives it. Because he's so adored by his mother.
Yeah, because as you previously mentioned, she doesn't really care for Robert because he's kind of, even though he's a cop, he's kind of murdery. He's
tall and he's kind of just like not secure, but then you got this brother who like screws up all the time, but the mother's like, oh, Raymond, you're such a good boy.
He's so tall, he could probably like climb into your bedroom window without a ladder and just slice you open in the middle of the night.
I will say he always has to duck when he comes into the house.
They didn't build a set tall enough for him?
No, I know that on the sitcom he did with Jolie Fisher, like when they were building their set, they're like, we can make the doors tall enough so that you don't have to duck. He's like, no. Leave them normal height because it would be weird if I wasn't ducking.
All right, how tall do you think Brad Garrett is?
6'5".
Do you know that for a fact?
No, I don't.
I'm trying to see if I can find the information online.
Should I just ask Google?
Ask Google, and we'll see if she is right, because I found the answer. I found the whole staff.
How tall is Brad Garrett?
Brad Garrett is 6 feet 8 inches tall.
Holy crap!
For some reason, I now have the height of the rest of the cast of Everybody Loves Raymond. Doris Roberts looks like to be the shortest at a paltry 5 feet 1 inch. And I just found out right this moment that Peter Boyle is dead.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't get that far into my research.
Yeah, he passed away not long after the series ended.
2006, according to this.
Yeah.
The show ended in 2005?
Yeah, in 2005, so like a year and a half later.
So I guess, I was reading this earlier, so CBS and Ray Romano, they decided 9 years was enough time, so they were like, let's end the show. And they put a kaput to it. And like the rest of the cast were like, let's keep going. We could just go forever until the show is just non-profitable. So if they kept going, Peter Boyle would have croaked like in the final season.
Oh, that's sad.
Isn't that just horrible to think about?
Yeah, that's awful.
At least we got to see him exit the show with grace.
Most of the cast has gone on to do other shows.
Patricia Heaton is on a show on ABC right now. What is it?
The Middle.
Yeah, I always call it Melt in the Middle. I know it's not Melt in the Middle.
The Middle, I've watched it. I discovered it last year in syndication, and now it's one of my favorites.
Brad Garrett had a run. He was on Till Death on Fox.
Yes, that was a show riddled with issues.
Yeah, but like it was on forever though. Like they just kept.
It was on for 3 seasons. If you go and you watch it on like Netflix, because it's on Netflix, you will be able to you can just see like where things switch up. Like there's this point where they have like Next Door Neighbor, which was the
Finch.
Yeah, from American Pie, and like his wife, and then they like just vanish. They're never mentioned again. After like the 4th episode of season 2, like they're just gone.
I own the first season on DVD. I bought it like on a whim. I never watched it. I bought it on a whim. I was like, oh, it was like $9.99 at like the Walmart bin, and I was like, I might watch this someday.
It's not bad. It just I don't know if there was a lot of interference. Like supposedly the actor and the neighbors like left because of creative differences. Like things kind of didn't focus on both couples. They started to focus mostly on Brad Garrett and his character's wife, Jolie Fisher. So, and then there's a period where there's like, it's got this new best friend, and then that best friend just vanishes.
They just couldn't make up their minds.
Yeah, and like the daughter comes back. Was played by like 3 actresses. Like in the middle of the final season, like the daughter just like got recast again, and like the character's husband was like freaking out. He thought he was in a sitcom named Doug. It got really weird.
Sounds like a great one. Maybe we'll revisit that show at some point in the future.
Somewhere way down the future.
If we can find it. Yeah, we'll wait till we've run out of ideas. But so the show ends basically, so Ray orders the takeout Thanksgiving company comes, drops off this food. They're all appalled, and they just like, they don't eat the food at that moment in time. They just kind of like box it up.
The guys try, but Deborah's like, oh hell no. Deborah like goes, Ray, go talk to your mother, and then she takes the food and takes it back to the house across the street. Deborah's
like, fuck you guys. I spent like $600 on this tofu turkey.
Like, I had to teach your mother how to cook healthy. And that's probably why Ray doesn't like Deb's food, because it's healthier.
Yeah, that might be right, yeah.
That's probably, like, it's just a very different style. But then, so Ray goes to talk to Marie, and Marie ends up apologizing to Ray.
After that, Marie apologizes to Ray? Is that what you said?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I should have made you a proper Thanksgiving dinner. I was being selfish.
So they then, it's like, now it's like the middle of the, was this when it was the middle of the night?
Yeah, that was before. Okay. So then Ray's like, oh, come on, Mom, we'll go eat your dinner. Deb took the stuff I ordered away, blah, blah, blah. And they go out to eat the tofu, steamed vegetables, lemon juice. And then in the middle of the night, Ray comes downstairs, and he turns on the lights in his kitchen, and there's Marie chomping into a drumstick.
She had, like, potatoes, too, right?
Yeah, she had, like, everything, like, set up, and she's just, like, chowing down on all of it.
And then, like, now all the characters are coming out, like, one by one. Like, Frank comes in,
he's like, I did have the Great Wall of Marie in bed next to me when I rolled over.
I need to see what's going on. And then he's like, wait, what are you guys, like, eating all this food without me? And then Marie's like, well, what are you waiting for? Join in. And he grabs a plate. And then Robert comes, so he's a New York City cop?
Yeah.
Okay. And they live in Long Island?
Yes.
And he just, like, was like, oh, I just happened to be driving by the house. Like, he mentions he's on shift, so, like, is he just, like, ditching his patrol and going to Long Island City?
It is part of New York City. It's part of Brooklyn and Queens.
So what is Robert's jurisdiction though? Like, is he strictly?
I think he's in like a Long Island.
So it's not out of character for him to be driving by their house. Okay.
Yeah, it's when you get into the whole boroughs of New York that I think things get confusing for some people.
Yeah, so he shows up, he's like driving by in the middle of the night, and he's like, I saw Dad walking across the street, and I was like, what the fuck, why is he walking across the street in a nightrobe? So then he busts in and he eats Thanksgiving, and then Deborah comes down.
Well, first, Robert's like, what? You made me eat the tofu, and now you're all eating turkey together? Like, Robert's totally offended.
But then he gave up, and he just joined in.
Yeah.
And then Deborah comes down, and she's pissed for like 3 seconds, and then she starts eating. Then I think the kids come down.
Yeah, all the kids show up. Like, is nobody asleep? Like, how loud are you guys that you're waking everybody up in the house?
Including the neighbors.
Yeah.
Which, the neighbors are the parents. And a cop.
Yeah, everybody knows. Like, it was all just kismet. Everybody just, like, woke up and saw each other.
Yeah, so that is basically the 3rd season episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, Thanksgiving. What was your take on the episode?
It seemed like kind of an average Thanksgiving. There's always some kind of, like, family drama.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I mean, it wasn't... I've seen better episodes of the show, and I've seen better Thanksgiving episodes, but I watched it. I had to watch it twice because I did fall asleep halfway through the first viewing.
Yeah, that's because you were watching in, the middle of the night?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's not because it was boring.
So a lot of it, I didn't know if it actually happened or if it was a dream I had. You never have dreams about Patricia Heaton and Ray Romano, and you just like, was that an episode of Raymond I saw, or was Patricia Heaton in my dream?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was kind of like just your average family Thanksgiving. It wasn't like anything that major. Kind of got like the basic gist of who the characters are.
And you got a good turkey joke in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you got to see like how crazy they all are when it comes to food. So did we get a text from our dairy friend?
No, he might still be at work, or he just thinks I'm insane and refuses to answer.
If you are dying to know the answer to the question of skim milk and coffee, if they go together, stay tuned for next week's episode, and we will tell you. So until next time,